think that's all the clues I have for now.
Yeah, much. Trust me, that's
You laughing?
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the Seed House.
Open.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is...
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White.
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after the...
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss.
Yes. The director was a truly good man.
Would you happen to know why part of...
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Moss. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you...
He was a master, a great leader.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave...
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
The Divine Syndicate?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are...
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my study.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Yeah.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used.
And I
A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
I'm sorry?
And that's what people use gloves for, hide the fingerprint.
Sure.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert.
Okay, this
This
is Albert's
place
desk.
serves
Yeah,
as
that's
Albert's
fine.
office.
You finally found him. Good job. Okay, this is Albert's work desk. What was the other door that was locked, buddy? Do you remember? I know it was a seed room. That's where we're at right now.
Yep, and just like that guy on the starter.
Oh. Oh. Shit.
That looks suspicious right there.
It's a big-ass fucking window. Does this
Yep.
one do that too?
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
Huh. Okay. Oh, look, there's a ventilation.
This is one of the outlets
Yep,
of the
I just like the
ventilation
royal
systems.
final. Now I have all starters from every region.
Good job. Alright. Okay.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
It's good, ain't it?
Yep.
It's my favorite one. It used to be the berry one, used to be my favorite, but my taste have grown.
Yeah, but that is pretty cool on how you can play your favorite classic Halo games now on newer Xboxes.
Look, the ventilation system goes through all the buildings.
Wow, that's crazy.
That must have been how they poisoned him. He was standing right under. Remember?
Yeah.
And then he moved and broke the door.
Yeah, but normally the greenhouse normally don't
The
have
seeds
the
of plant species
No, they
are
do. They need to have a
stored
ventilation
here.
system.
But normally the outside.
But this is
place
the 1800s. This was, Hogwarts time. The Hogwarts game's time, too. So it's funny. Not a whole lot of technology back then. Whew. Now we got so much technology and distractions.
But you know what's so funny?
Hmm.
Remember that one teacher that used to teach them about stuff about plants? You don't see her anymore after the second. After the.
Is that it? That's the thing, isn't it? Oh, yeah. This is the thing that's missing the piece here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the head. It's on the head. Right there.
Yep, right there.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place.
You want to try it?
Sure, why not?
You try.
Well, let me rotate.
No?
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Who is that? Mr. Dunn. Oh, that's his head. It's the murder victim's thing. Look at his name tape. Yeah.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Go on. Move out the way, Watson. With your fucking ass. There's no room. You didn't need to go that way, though. I just opened the door.
Well, I couldn't do that, but when someone.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I was just letting you know.
Because when someone's holding the doorway, you couldn't.
Right. Oh. Damn. What are you running for?
Run, Forrest, run. Even though it's a fun movie.
That only use that when it pops up. It'll pop up when it works.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Oh, let me. Yeah.
These young plants must be delicate
If
they
it's
are
green,
kept in the
you already
nursery.
looked at it. If it's white, you have to investigate. What we got?
Oh. No.
Maybe
A
the
glasses case.
glasses.
It is empty.
This must be the director's. Yeah, it's
A
Hamish.
thesis written by Martin Hamish. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Okay. Does that have any access to the ventilation system or the door? Oh, there.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Oh shit! That's where. Look, that's where he died from. Across from his window. And this is where Hamish sits every day. Okay, and then there's a poster. Let's see what we got.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens.
That's suspicious.
This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
All right. Is there a vent? Oh, right there, above. Look up.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Okay, so it's possible that Hamish is our lead suspect right now.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Because he could see that he was standing right there, right?
Yeah.
And so then he puts the poison in through that ventilation system right there, and then it goes all the way over to where he's standing, and then it infects his lungs, right? Then he collapses it after trying to break down the door.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Good find. I wouldn't have found that. I didn't even look there. Wait, what's that? Right there. That green desk. Is there anything over there on that green desk? Pots and shit? Nothing? Okay, now you want the door.
Oh. Okay, for a minute, I thought there was something suspicious in that cabinet.
Yeah, it did light up a little bit from the reflection.
Because everyone hides in something that looks like a closet type, but everyone hides shit in there.
Right.
And some, you never know what's in there.
I think he knows about the Divine Syndicate, too. It'll pop up, hon. You don't need to use that. The eye will pop up and tell you need to use it. And that'll take you back to the Colonial Exhibition Room where he died. Yeah. That's where he died, right there. And he landed into that door. How do you get there, though, from the other way? Alright, push square real quick. Dialogue. Marble fragment picked up from the floor of the Colonial Collection Room. Judging by its form and refinement, it's probably part of the statue. Okay, go to the right. Use the right. No, go back. Use the right analog stick. Okay, sculpture. Alright, go back to the people and talk to them. Dialogue means talking to them. So I think she's right there. So she's the closest, right behind you. Go to that door. She's in there.
Seed House.
Kew Gardens is such an exciting place. Wouldn't you
That's not who
agree?
you ask then. Then you gotta ask Albert or the Mr. Hamish. And then after that,
What should we do next, Holmes?
and pick up the dog. Unless you want to go home and pick up the dog now. That's how you would do it with the book. Alright, go to the green compass. R1. R1. Oh, sorry. I did give you the wrong one. L1 3 times. Alright. Go to Baker Street. We gotta pick up the puppy dog. We gotta pick up the puppy dog. We gotta use the puppy dog nose. Puppy dog nose. Ain't that right, Sunday? You guys got mastered nose. Push X to continue. All you gotta do is walk up to the dog and pick, and he'll follow you. Well, you walk up to him and push X, and then.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Okay. Now you just open up the square again and go to Kew Gardens. You're gonna become the dog. You gonna become that pup dog. We take that puppy dog. Oh wait, you know what? I think the mic is still on. It is. I forgot to turn it off. Here, let me see that remote.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory.
See this right here
He will
on the
pick up
PlayStation
scent
remote,
of this
Eric?
mysterious substance.
This automatically.
Search, Toby. Search. Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes, a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle. There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
I see. There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube. A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent. Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory. My analysis table. It is useful for my work. My archive. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post. This is where I keep my post. Ventilation system.
What should we do next, Holmes?
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. That is not the one I need. Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. A fragment of a flower pot. The Kew Gardens symbol. Locked. Locked. Good day to you, sir. My name is Shirl...
I am exalting the sun. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic? Himself?
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Well, we will... Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
I see. Well, we... Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy they are.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh, la. Good, good. I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
This must be Treewan, the Divine Syndicate's god. caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. 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 This door is locked, but I can try to open it. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. This is a strange and unusual plant. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions. Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh, my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss. Here it is. Cylinder Records. I don't hear anything.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us. The employee's cloakroom. Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. First of all, I need to visit the Colonial Collection Room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly plants. The plants were here. All of them were stolen. These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire. No, it wasn't like that. According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. No, it wasn't like that. When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
These windows were perfectly cleaned. The power is off. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room. Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Sorry for taking the scenic route. My brother's actually playing. I'm letting him play. So, here we go. Oops.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you. Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
Holmes.
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case. The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly. Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose. If it was Mr. Hamish...
Well...
You mean to...
So
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning. Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
But, Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all trace. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining. The dead.
Very good.
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her
Whatever are you...
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is...
All right.
Mr. Holmes.
You do not seem surprised.
Well,
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear.
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a...
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult. It is over, Miss White.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right...
Dr. Watson? Did...
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have? Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat-head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he?
From what I've heard, you know what they're like.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about Wiggins.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. It's on Half Moon Street.
Very well.